Welcome back, people, to Roo Studios Tekkit version 1.2.9G, episode 43. And in this episode, we are going to get Cursed Earth. And to do that, we needed our armor. We needed our power armor, with primarily with the mob repulsor activating, because when you start generating Cursed Earth, you get an insane amount of mobs spawning on that Cursed Earth, all wanting to attack you. So best to repulse them so you can dig up the earth and get some blocks. Now it does spread, so you don't need to get a whole pile of them, but you get as many as you can. So what we need to do, and look, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this whole the way you get this Cursed Earth, because it's a really dark means of doing it, in that you have to wait till midnight to perform the ritual, when you have to make a sacrifice of a mob at midnight. So it's not me. It's just I think the developers and the writers of this sort of stuff really need to think twice about who their target audience is when they do stuff like that. There's probably far better ways of getting Cursed Earth, or you'd even name it something different. But anyway, it is what it is. But just know that I don't agree with it. Now, what we need to capture a mob safely, so that we can perform this ritual at midnight. And the best way I found to do that is you could use a safari net like this one. We make the reusable ones because they're used for our AutoSpawners. Now we hit R on that. You need ender pearls and a ghast tear, okay, to get that. So a little bit expensive, but we can do it. There is another way though to perform this job, and that's using a golden lasso. There it is there. Okay, let's get out of there. Okay, a lot cheaper to do, pretty easy to make, and it actually catches them. So we'll make one of these first. It won't be long, and we'll have a whole swag of these. So there's our golden lasso, and all we need to do here, and this will pretty much capture anything you want. So it's really good for transporting mobs around. So for example, we've got to find a mob now. Be just my luck that there's none around to actually grab, if I can find one. Is there any sheep there? Let's have a look. Oh look, 4 cats. I don't think I'll be able to sneak up to them to catch them. Be interesting if I can, but I'm not sure this is going to happen. Oh, once you get to an animal, you right click it. Oh, they're going to be quick. There we go, I've got one. Notice how now that the golden lasso is glowing, it's like it's got an enchantment, and you can see there that it's got an ocelot in it. All right, and that's all it is. Now that's just right clicking it, and now all we have to do is right click it again, and it lets the cat out. So it's just what you want. So let me just turn my mob repulsor off if I can. B. I bet you my keybinds. Oh no, it's all there. G. Okay, now let's see if I can't find a mob to capture. Have a look at a lot of video tutorials on this, and they say any animal will do to perform the ritual. But I've found that I can kill cows, I can kill any peaceful mob, and the ritual doesn't work. It's only worked for me. It's only worked for hostile mobs. So I may have to wait till dark. Oh, look, I've got a chunk that's not loaded. Yeah, that's the joys of having an old computer, I guess. There she goes. Now I'm hearing a mob. I'm hearing a zombie here somewhere. Maybe he's in here. No. I get a few of them spawning in here. Alright, bear with me, I'll find a mob and I'll come back on get this happening. Here we go. So I'm going to come up to this fella and I'm going to right click on him. Well, that's interesting. I can't. That's not going to work. There's no mobs. Why is that? Right, it seems you can't use the golden lasso, so there is another option that I'll use, and just bear with me. I'll trap them in a cage because they've got to be near the enchantment table for this to actually work. So what I'll do is I'll get some fence posts and I will trap them and try it this way. So it seems the golden lasso is only for peaceful mobs. So let's, in fact, we've got enough. Do I have a ghast here? Oh, I do. So let's make a safari net, and we'll do it that way because I know these work. I think it goes here, and we'll be using these. We'll use these again for our auto spawner. So what we need, in fact, while we'll do this, what I will do is I'm going to catch a zombie and I'm going to get some fence posts and I'm going to put him into the fence post so he doesn't run away. That one will do. So the other items you need for this this little task to get cursed earth is, and I'll just show you the build. It's a fairly simple one. Is you need an enchanting table, like so, and you need redstone surrounding it like that. Okay, so it's pretty easy. But you also need, and hopefully this will work, you need to perform a sacrifice near the table for the cursed earth to happen, and it's got to be done at midnight. So we're getting close to midnight there, and I just got to find myself a mob that. So we've got a creeper there. I'll put him over here. I'm not sure if creepers will do the trick for me. I'll get him over there. Now, where am I? There it is. A zombie would be ideal. If I can find a zombie, I'll use that. Oh, darn it. Gotta love jungles. Alright, come on zombies, where are you? Ah, here we go. Excellent. Okay, so we've got a zombie. I'm going to pop him in our fenced area for now, and then come midnight, we'll have this ritual. Hopefully I have just enough time to tell you about the rest of it. So I'll just pop him in there, like so. Okay, so he's stuck. Now, the other thing you need, let's see, it's nearly midnight, it's getting close, is this division sigil. Now you won't get them enchanted like this, because I've used it once already, but you can use it again. Okay, and basically you shift right click on the enchanting table to give you all your codes, and then you perform the sacrifice and everything turns into cursed earth. Now let me just turn my repulsor on again. Okay, so maybe not, I'll wait till he kills him. So I'm going to hit shift right click. Now I'm going to perform the sacrifice, and it didn't work. Now why didn't that work? Okay, maybe you do have to use a brand new one. So I wonder how that works. Alright, bear with me, I'll get back to you. Don't forget, I am just learning this as well as everyone else, so there we go, cursed earth. So now I've got to put G on to repulse them. There, okay, now they can't get near me, and I'm free now to dig up this cursed earth. Now you're going to see mobs spawning all over the place here, but you want this purple stuff. Now you need to do it, you need to dig it up with a silk touch tool too, so don't forget to get a silk touch tool, and basically get as much as you can. It will burn out once the daylight happens, and you see it's still turning to cursed earth as you dig it up, and you just keep digging it out. And this is why you have the repulsor armor on, so that mob repulsor happening, because now they can't get to you, and you can pop them off if you need to. So it's all good. Oh, with that, he couldn't get away, so I pressed into him. That's interesting. I'm just digging up a heap of this. Now the area is 10 by 10, so I really just need 100 of these. Right, I've got a skeleton trying to shoot at me. Where is he? Here he is. Oops, that was me with my railgun overheating. Now, enchantments don't work on cursed earth. As you can see, this is an efficiency 5 shovel, and it still takes a long time for it to happen. So sun's going down. I'll leave some of this cursed earth on the ground so you can see what happens when the sun comes up as well. I've got 51. I've still got a bit more to go. Now, can you imagine doing this when you're haven't got this mob repulsor on and you got zombies just attacking you left, right, mobs just attacking you left, right, and centre? It's just not. It's really, really hard to do. I did it once and I got like 10 blocks. You're just spending all your time killing mobs because they all spawn on this stuff here. So I'm just going to keep digging it up. It doesn't matter about the level of the earth too. It'll just spawn a radius regardless of the height. So it doesn't need to be on flat ground. It'll just spread everywhere. As you can see, how we going? 52. Oh, look at that. We got well and truly 100. All right, so that's how it all works. I'm just going to keep digging. It's nearly daylight. You can see the sun coming up over there, and just watch what happens when the sun comes up on this stuff. So let me just step up a little bit so you can see it. That'll do. I'll go and take a few pot shots at some people. And what'll happen, it'll all start catching fire, and that'll be the end of the cursed earth session. The daylight's coming up. Your things, there we go. See, it'll start to catch fire now, and basically it'll just burn up and disappear. So you've got to do this at night, and go as much as you can as you go. Now it will spread. Oop, we're getting a fire here. It will spread, so you have to be careful. You don't have to get stacks and stacks and stacks of it, so it's not such a big issue. Now, some of it might hang around still, depending on where it's located. But on the whole, that's it for the ritual. Like I said, I don't agree with the whole way it's been done. It's a little bit wrong. I mean, this is a kids' game after all, and they really don't need to sort of understand or perform those sorts of things as a ritual. I think it's a bit of an oversight on the developers' part there. They need to understand who their target audience is. So yeah, I really don't agree with it. It doesn't need to be done that way. You could do it there's 100 different ways you could do it other than that. But that's how you get cursed earth. Now all I'm going to do, I'm not going to put it down inside my spawner yet until I've made some dark glass. So we'll go and make some dark glass. Because we need to do that before we get this happening. Now dark glass basically works the same way as a block. All right, dark glass it does not allow any light into the room. So when we build this, let's just have a look at the recipe here. I might just put a few things away. So there's the dark glass there. We need blackout curtains, thickened glass, and some saplings or ink. Thickened glass is basically sandy glass. I think, do we have thickened glass here? We may have some. Oh, we've got heaps of it. Okay, good. So let's clear that. Put the recipe in there. Now the blackout curtains is basically wool in the shape of a door. So we've got stacks of that as well. In fact, I may just turn that into a pattern. There. I'm going to do a bit more. I'm going to do another review. Oh, I must have grabbed it. There it is there. I'm going to do a bit of a update on these pattern encodings as well. I've done a little bit of playing around with this CPUs and interfaces and stuff. And there's a lot of things you can do with the interfaces that are really, really useful. So we've got 72 of those. In fact, let's go and encode the dark glass as well while we're at it. So how do we make that? Thickened glass and the saplings. Okay, so we need thickened glass and black saplings. It is there. Code that. Pop him up in our encoding room. Okay. So now we need to do, here we go, dark glass. We're going to need 40, 160. So probably going to say we'll go around 500. And begin. And if we go and type in dark, we can see it being made there. Or we can go to our crafting monitor. Notice it's whipping up the blackout curtains on the fly as well. If I had dark glass in here as an encoded pattern, sorry, not the thickened glass as an encoded pattern, we could do that too. Now I'm not sure, do we have thickened glass in here? No, we don't. Might just do that while we're at it. No, not that one. Okay, we can't. I will put this as a crafting item. Probably in our next tutorials after I finish these couple, on setting this up as an encoded pattern. Right, it's really easy putting a shaped craft into here, into the CPU, which makes stuff. But there are things that you need to make with a smelter or an induction smelter, or how to make stuff with the sag mill or sawmills and stuff. So and you can actually put those as crafting items as well. And I'll show you how to do that probably as soon as I finish these builds here. So that should do it with our dark glass. Do we have enough now? 500, that'll do. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to head over to our build. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to line this whole area around here right to the roof with dark glass. So bear with me and I'll be right back. So that's that. Now it doesn't look like much at the moment because we've lit up inside. There's beacons in the light, but once we cover this with cursed earth, this will be really dark in here. So I'll just you can see the shade of the glass that it is. So let me just, once I've done this and it's all closed off, okay, it doesn't look like much, but now I'm just going to go downstairs. I'm going to put the cursed earth down, and as I start putting it down, mobs will start spawning in here as it gets darker. And I'll show you, and you better see what happens then, and you'll see them start killing, the grinders will start killing them straight away. So let's just pop yourselves down here. Oops. Hopefully I can get it all covered. You notice some of it burning because it's too bright. I may need to just knock out these lights here for the time being. And that one. There we go. Hopefully we'll have enough covered for it to start growing. Yeah, light destroys the cursed earth, so it has to be in darkness. I'll have to get up there and shut it all down, otherwise. There we go. Now it should spread, and you probably find they'll start spawning on me. There we go. So now I can put my lights back. We can get things happening, and you can already hear it. You can already hear them starting to form up and spawn in here. There we go. One down there. Okay, so now we'll go up here. Right, and you can see the mobs starting to spawn, and they'll spawn in here, even though it's bright in here. You can see them spawning in. If I put my night vision on, do I have night vision? What have I got night vision for? N, okay. Night vision off. There we go. You can see it happening now. You'll see, yeah, they're just starting to spawn mad because it's really dark in there. I'm not going to go in there because I'm a target, but they spawn on this cursed earth, and you should see this cursed earth starting to cover. Yeah, you can see it starting to fill up now. Just wait and look closely enough. You can see a few of them starting to close up. In a little while, that'll be completely covered, and you just have mobs spawning all the time. And out of that, we get what we need is mob essence is what we need. So let's just head back to our earth here. Quick show you the growth in mob essence. There it is there. So that'll start going up as far as mob essence. And we need this for our auto spawner. Hopefully it'll actually be able to keep up and go further, and we can then use mob essence to give ourselves, make ourselves a bottle of enchantments, a bottle of enchantings, and that'll slowly build up. There we go, 503. So it's going up now. All right, and that's it. That's how we make our cursed earth and how we build a mob farm using our cursed earth. So just as a summary on that one over the couple of tutorials. We need dark glass to cover it. We need cursed earth in a 10 by 10 square. You can make this as big as you like, but it can't be any more than 10 wide because the grinders only do 5 by 5 areas. So you can make that 100 or 500 blocks long if you want to do that, but you need every 1, 2, 3, 4, every 5th block needs to be a grinder. So you need grinders to cover the area, and you need interfaces to gather the items, and also the mob essence. Now there is something we have to do to our ME system, because at the moment we could be getting damaged armor and bows and all sorts of stuff into our ME system, and that can fill it up fairly quick. So we'll set up a disposal system for that sort of stuff using a fuzzy export bus. And I'll show you how to use that in one of the tutorials coming up. Okay, so that's it. That's how it's all set up. If you're liking this series, please hit the subscribe and like button. It'll help me out. And I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye for now.